Welcome to The Growth Show with me as your host, Joe Camerato. I am an entrepreneur who created my company, National Business Capital, from literally $0 out of my spare bedroom to over $2 billion in business loans secured for entrepreneurs nationwide. Since 2007, I have seen just about every type of business. I provide money and help entrepreneurs access capital to scale fast, but I also know that it's possible for you, as you scale, to replace yourself, to build systems, processes, and great teams of people that can live on without you so you can actually enjoy your life and your company can still grow. I will not only tell you the peaks and valleys of my story, but I will also bring on world-class entrepreneurs to tell their stories and share their lessons on their growth journeys. Welcome to The Growth Show. Welcome everybody to The Growth Show, where it's all about growing your business and me featuring awesome entrepreneurs that are making it happen in whatever business that they're in. And today I've got a great group of entrepreneurs to join me, Eric Anderson and Noelle Frieson, who, it's great to see you guys again. And, they are, really have done some amazing things in the real estate industry. They've trained over 15,000 students in their real estate education business. They help train people for, to become an agent, but also to become an, investor, property management, and a number of different things. And I thought it would be really great to have them on because this is a wild time to be in the real estate business. And I've gone through cycles, in the past, and, in these times when there's a little bit of a wiggle in the market, when times are good, everyone jumps in. When times are bad, the greatest thrive and the weak say goodbye and exit out. So
we're very excited to be here and to talk about your wiggle in the market. Thanks for having us on your show.
You got it, guys. Well, thank you for being on. So, why don't you first off, introduce yourself, guys, and your company, and we'll go from there.
Ladies first.
Okay. Well, I'm Noelle Frieson. This is Eric Anderson. And we have the Center for Real Estate Education. We're based out of New Jersey. However, we do pre-licensing courses. So the course that you must take to get your real estate license in New Jersey, of course, New York, Florida, and soon to be Pennsylvania. And really, wherever you're listening to us, you can give us a call and we can help you figure something out.
And we're all about education. We love giving people examples of how we've made our successes through real estate. And we love sharing it with people. We started the school based on philanthropic goal, just to really give back to people in the industry. Because for me, especially when I got involved, I didn't have any mentors. I don't even think YouTube was around when I got involved.
Same here.
We wanted to show people how much fun it is to get into this industry. And, we have a book coming out soon that's going to teach people how to build their wealth and all through real estate. And it's just such an exciting time. And it's an exciting career to be involved in.
And I think what's really great about it is through the school, we've been able to show people that being a real estate agent is awesome, but there's so many other things you can do as well, through investment, property management. There are different aspects of being a real estate agent. You could do commercial, you can do residential. So whatever your personality is, whatever type of character or the type of work you like to do, you can find a way to be a part of it in real estate.
And real estate just every walk of life.
Yes.
Everybody needs to know about it. Everybody at some point in their life or their career is going to have a tie to real estate or an involvement in a real estate deal or a need for real estate. So to get educated in it, whether you're getting educated in the investment side or in the licensing side or in the career, being in a career related to it, it's really something that everybody needs to learn about.
I agree.
100%. Yeah, I couldn't agree more than that. And and I'm sure it's just been so easy for you guys, and you guys got rich overnight with real estate.
Huh.
Noelle did. 20 years.
I joke about that because that's why I really respect you guys and really like you guys, because you're real about that it for you guys and what you teach, it's not like this overnight get rich quick BS. like, there's opportunity. You can do really well and make money, but you have to work hard and, and make it happen. And I think, you guys, are real about that. Where, some others, there's a lot of things online now about real estate, a lot of stuff on YouTube, and there's a lot of get rich quick stuff, which I never believe in any of that stuff. And I'm not a fan of it.
Well, I think people don't realize real estate is a career. So just like any other career, you need to work at it. You need to go in, you need to get up in the morning, you need to do your work but I think what real estate gives you and what people should be focusing on is that if you work hard at it, you will be able to have that freedom of time and freedom of choice of when to work and how to work. So you can work to the best of your abilities, but you still got to work.
That's right.
You still got to work. And, about those get rich quick schemes, the first book I read was Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. I always screw up his last name, but great intro for me, gave me some perspective. And it really teaches you the difference, on a basic level between an asset and a liability. And it just gave me a good foundation to get started. And I made money in real estate within my first 2 to 3 years. I started to do really, really well through my investments, not so much through my career side of brokerage, but more through my investments in real estate. But it didn't happen overnight, as a lot of these other people are out there saying, but it can happen. If you have the right education and you get lucky and you get involved in the right deal, you can make money very quickly in real estate. And one of the things that we've done is we started a podcast called what's it called? The Remix. The real estate podcast.
The real estate mix, yeah.
The real estate mix. What's our slogan? Keep you.
What?
What's our slogan for it?
Keeping you in the mix. Oh, we're keeping you in the mix of everything real estate.
I love it. Yeah.
I'm forgetting everything.
Well, I'm getting married into it.
But we love to talk on our podcast about real stories, real examples. There's none of this like everything is roses. It's not. Everything isn't roses in anything. Even if you win the lottery, there's challenges.
Problems, right?
So it's really, as Noelle said, hard work, persistence, knowledge, learning, trial and error, and really it's about just jumping in and trying it.
I think that's one of our biggest things. We are proponents of jumping in. You can walk around the edge of the pool all you want, but it's not until you jump in that you're going to get used to the temperature. You know what I mean? So you want to.
That's why Noelle's pool isn't heated.
That's a great. No, I like that one. Just jump in and get used to the temperature.
Right.
Let's go. Yeah. That's great. Well, I think it's just important for people to understand that. But to your point too, you said when you got started, there wasn't mentors and all these things. And, now, I think you got to really think about that. I wish when I got started in my business that I could have paid someone to help, accelerate my growth, but also, avoid mistakes, right? That can be really costly. I'm sure you guys did, as I know I did. I had to, learn by trial and error. And a lot of those errors were very costly. So, I think, if today there's so many ways, there's so much information out there. You have to go to the right sources for that information. But to be able to go with folks like you that aren't just teaching it, but they're also doing it. You guys have a track record. You've got your own investment properties, your own brokerage. You've closed real estate deals. Like you guys get it. So to be able to learn, from folks like yourselves and to avoid that and also fast forward the growth. Yeah, I mean, you could probably cut the time in half, maybe even more, for someone to be successful, which is amazing.
I think one of the big things about all of the classes that we have is there's always some sort of live component, even when things are, now everything is moving to self-paced. We started out doing many moons ago, doing in-person classes where you walked into the school and sat down at the desk with the teacher. And then, of course, during COVID, we moved to online, and now a lot of things are self-paced, but we always include an opportunity to be able to be in front of a teacher, whether it's online or whether it's in person. So, there will be a time when you can actually ask the questions to Eric Anderson or Omar Sharif or all of our different teachers.
And it's not even the teachers, it's being in front of people that have done what you're aspiring to do. So, do I teach? Yes. Do I consider myself a teacher? Not really.
No, right.
But I love being in front of, a class of 50, 60 people and getting peppered with questions and having to recall all the stories that I had of, my experiences, chaotic and the good ones. It's just so much fun.
That's awesome. No, that's great. Well, what got you guys in? Take us back to how you got into the business and how'd you get started? What kind of got you in it, and when did you realize like, wow, there's a real business here?
That's a great question. So I started in real estate when I was like in my early 30s. I was in a family business. I was always an entrepreneur. My family had some dynamic changes in it, and I just didn't fit there anymore. And I kind of was like, what the hell am I going to do with myself? I had bought my first house when I was 24, so I sort of appreciated real estate. I had an aunt growing up who was a real estate agent, so I got to kind of ride along with her a couple times. And then I saw what it was like to own properties. So I just said, I'm going to buy from the beginning. So I don't really know why that was me, but that was me. As I moved forward in business and I started to understand it, I went through college, I went through my family business, I learned what it was like to make money. I learned what it was like to work for others and not make your own decisions. And then I said, hey, I want to do more with real estate. I want my money to start working for me because I want to sit on the beach and just have some phone calls while I'm getting checks for $10,000 or $20,000 or whatever, versus that person who has to go and earn their money or work for their money. My first career was involved in retail. So even though it was a family business, I was the guy that still had to be there. So I had to be there 5 to 6 days a week, and I had to work on Saturdays, and I had to work late on Thursday and Friday nights. And I was like, hey, a lot of my friends or colleagues are out partying because they're not in retail. And I was like, I can't do this. I want to be the one out partying. I want to be the one that has nothing to do on a weekend, not like, oh my God, I have to work, So that's really what started my quest, and real estate was just a really good avenue for me. And I happen to enjoy it. I love being creative with properties. I love rehabbing properties. I love the interaction with the different people. And for me, it just worked. Is there a high barrier to entry? There can be when it comes to investment properties, but there's ways that you can start small. There's ways that you can partner with people. The trick is you just have to start, and you can't be afraid. And one of the things that I try to teach to people that I meet is you have to start early. You have to kind of do like an asset assessment on your life. Like, where are you in life? If you're 40 years old and you have 3 children that are right about to go into college, well, maybe that's not the time to go and start in real estate investing or being in the real estate business. But if you're not married yet, or if you just got married and you don't have any kids yet, or maybe you have a 1-year-old, you still have time to do stuff and make mistakes because you have years to fix any errors or years to learn from it. So, a lot of people wait and they waste all their young lives not trying the things that they really want to do. And they say, I'm going to try this later on. Well, the time to get in is when you're young.
Yeah, I
100%.
completely agree. And, talking about that, Eric has definitely taught me, and something that I want to say to women out there is, you usually see, when you think of a real estate agent, you do think of the woman who's showing the houses and the crown molding, but women need to start exploring the investment side and the property management side and the commercial side, because there is so much more to real estate. And if you are a woman out there and you're like, I want to be in real estate, but I'm not sure I want to be a real estate agent, you got to look at investment. You got to look at flipping. You can do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to look at the buying and the holding. You can own that apartment building and be the landlord. And you got to get in there. And that's my diatribe to women, because I just think that learning from Eric, I have seen how much you can do when you think you can't.
No, I couldn't agree more with that. You always have more in you and you just don't realize it. And a lot of times you don't find that out until something bad's happened in life, right? Where you get, massive challenges thrown at you. But when things are good, it's always hard to push yourself and to get out of your comfort zone. But all the growth happens from doing things that you haven't done in the past and pushing, out of your comfort. So I
And
couldn't
learning.
agree more with that. Yeah.
Mhm.
And making mistakes and then, learning from those mistakes too. It's okay to fail. Some of the best learnings I've had are from my worst failures, so
Well, hopefully you won't have to fail that much, because I think one of the big things that we try and do is provide that mentorship. So
agreed.
you're at least aware of some of the pitfalls, right?
100%. And you can't be afraid to take the risks. That's the main thing. And and a lot of times the failures aren't like catastrophic. It's like, for next time to make an adjustment so you can get more out of what you did versus maybe you left some money on the table or whatever it might be.
A catastrophic failure is one that puts you out of the game completely, right? So
Exactly right. If you're
You're
still alive, you can figure it out. Exactly right.
Yeah. I think with failure, it's just you have to look at it as you're educating yourself. So if you didn't go to college, so you do a couple real estate deals, some you're going to win, some you're going to break even on, one you may lose on. That's your education. You're paying
Exactly
your
right.
education, right?
Yeah.
But when you go to college, you really don't have a chance to make money. You're going to make money in theory with whatever your career is. But when you're paying for your own education through real estate deals or experiences, you actually have the chance to make money. So I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, me too. I couldn't agree more. And I'd rather pay for that education. So.
And just so you know, speaking of college, we have a rolling scholarship for college students in New Jersey and Florida. So you could go to our website, recareercenter.com. And if you're a high school senior, you could get your whole real estate class taken care of, because we want to see young people.
That's awesome.
Get in there. And it doesn't mean you don't go to your 4-year. Go to your 4-year college and do real estate on the side. You know what I mean? Why work in fast food when you could be making deals and getting that experience for when you're out of college?
That's great. That's so cool that you guys do that. I didn't know that. And that's really good to know. And I'll definitely keep that in mind.
Thank you.
So how did you guys meet and partner up?
We met online.
Are you guys just only partners in business, or?
Yeah, no, only partners in business.
We're friends. We're friends first, and partners in business second. Yes. So,
very cool.
I still do, but I'm a director of a nonprofit business improvement district, which is a real estate related kind of company, or like it's
an organization,
a city, downtown city management type company. So that was Noelle's, I think, second career.
Well, that was my prior career. I did marketing for downtown organizations, Lower East Side of Manhattan, the city of Newark, things like that. And I started doing marketing for the city of Hackensack, and met Eric. And Eric said, come on board and help our real estate agents, with their marketing. And then I got bit by the real estate bug.
Yep. And we just connected, we became friends, we worked together, and then it just...
For almost a decade.
Because we're entrepreneurs, we see opportunities in others.
Yes.
And we saw the opportunities. And there you go.
I love that.
It's like 20 years later.
Yeah. And now
what year was that? That was 20 years ago?
Not that's dating me. It was over a decade. Yeah. Well over
10 plus. We don't know.
I'm only 21, but go ahead.
Yes, you started at 1. It makes sense. But that's actually a good point, just kind of going back and just to where we are now, right? Because you guys were in real estate prior to 0809, crash. I was in the mortgage business and then got in and moved right before in 07, founded and moved into the business lending space. But you've gone through that crash, which is a wild time. And here we are through a weird time, not a lot of inventory on the market. Mortgage rates have gone up. And it's become challenging. And we were talking about this a little bit before we got started, but in these rough times, like the great, the okay, survive, the greatest, thrive, and the weak, people say goodbye and they exit. So let's talk about this like weird time that we're in right now, because it's weird. There's all these people pouring into real estate. Now the market's tightening up, and really want to hear from you guys your thoughts on that, because I think it's a really timely topic to be talking about.
I would say a lot of people are exiting. A lot of people are exiting on a let's say career type level, but the people that are really exiting are not the people that were really taking it seriously. So the people that are exiting, or take a step back, real estate, what's great about it is you don't have to be into it full time. You can dip your feet in, you could put both feet in, you could jump your whole body in, right? So there are people that chose to get into real estate as a second opportunity for themselves. Those are the people, because they're not focused on it, those are the ones that are maybe taking a back seat during an economy like this. The people that jumped in their whole body into that pool, they're not leaving. They're here. They're looking for opportunities. They're moving. They're making things happen.
They're also diversifying.
Yeah.
They're looking at, property management. They're trying their feet in commercial, or if they were in commercial, trying a little bit of residential.
Right. So maybe before they focused on one genre of real estate, as Noelle said, they're just opening their eyes to more, because yes, are there less opportunities? Is it harder to accomplish certain things? Sure. Yes. But that's what makes life interesting.
And that's what creates opportunity, right? Because in these times, which I saw in 08, 09, and and I know that you guys definitely did, this is where people exit, and people are running because it's not easy. It's not easy money, but I think that's what, if you stick with it and stay focused, there will be a lot of opportunity out there. And it's interesting what you were just saying, because I think kind of going to everything that you guys teach and do, you don't just teach how to become a real estate agent. It's how to become an agent, investor, property management, commercial. And I think a lot of like the old school way of thinking was like this, like I do one thing and that's the thing I do. And so it really makes sense to really soak up everything that you guys teach and be diversified, because, I think everyone in life, right? Like you've got to have your main source of income, whether that's your job or your business, but you've got to be focused on other things that drive other revenues, because there's always going to be these cycles and wiggle in the economies and market. So if you've got some property management money coming in, if you've got some, real estate investment rental income, you're flipping a house or two, and you're also selling, and are an agent, when one's doing bad, the other does well, and really diversifying, I think, is really important.
Yeah.
It's the way to get through a bad economy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Diversification is the key. And I think we had a whole episode on the remix about that, about diversification and what are the different things you can do.
So what I like about diversification, so it's a double-edged sword. In a time where you're not strong in what you're doing, it allows you to open yourself up for more opportunities and more income. Traditionally, though, I think that as you're going up the ladder and growing, you should focus on specific areas, because when you're all over the place, it's hard to really make good money.
You can't focus.
I agree. Yeah, you can't be a jack of all trades.
Right. So that said, by learning the different areas and having the diversification of knowledge, that opens you up to opportunity, because it helps you recognize things faster than someone that doesn't have that diversity of knowledge. So it really just depends on what genre or what part of real estate you're in and how you're doing in that market. And yes, if you're only doing residential sales and the market you're in, things are tanking and there's nothing going on, and then you have other opportunities because of your knowledge, yes, you could then all of a sudden turn and focus on property management, right? Because you can certainly make a good income as a property manager, and that will get you through whatever storm you're facing in that residential arena.
So before we opened the school, Eric has had for many, 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 many years, Alexander Anderson Real Estate Group. And at Alexander Anderson Real Estate Group, you can do commercial, you can do residential, you can be part of the investment group, you can be part of the property management group. And I think when we opened the school, because we had been working with Alexander Anderson Real Estate Group for so long with that mindset of look at everything you can do, we brought that into the school as well.
Got it. Makes sense.
And we love giving our students that diversification. We don't like to just teach them the book knowledge. A lot of the other education companies that are out there, they focus on this is what you need to pass your test. In reality, after you pass that test, all of that stuff that you learned is not really used. So we're trying to prepare you for moving forward and making a decision and helping you get established, because we want you here. We want you to be part of this world. We don't want you just to pass the test to say, hey, check, I have this license, or I passed this test. We want to develop people that are going to be excited about the career and broaden our profession as the real estate industry.
But we do get you to pass the test as well.
Yeah.
don't
That's
get
always good. So tell me about what you guys have got going on right now. You guys are real estate investors yourselves. What are some projects and stuff that you got going on that you're excited about?
Tell them about the Phoenix. The Phoenix is rising.
And that's a true story. But part of what I do really is before I had this school, I was a real estate investor in addition to being a traditional broker. Actually, I think I was more of a real estate developer, a real estate investor first. And then when I ran out of money, because I don't sell stuff, so I just kept buying. And you can only buy so much, and you can only pull out cash and refi so many times. And then eventually, your pool dries up. So I was like, I need to make more money. So then I went into trading real estate as a salesperson. And that just taught me a whole nother side of the business. But one of the fun things that we're doing now is we've become an actual developer or a builder. Before we would buy projects, we would rehab them. We would do some fix and flips, or we would do rehab of commercial properties, which we would then rent and own. But about 5 years ago, one of our properties burnt down. So we got stuck with this piece of land that was now empty, a ton of money from insurance. And then I'm sitting here like, what the hell am I going to do with this thing? And it was in an area that we have heavily invested in, and we love the area. So we didn't want to give it up. So basically, we decided to build a 24-unit apartment building, which we're calling the Phoenix.
Get it? It's rising from the ashes.
My wife
love it.
Yeah, my wife coined that one. So we're building our first apartment building, and we've had some challenges, but we're probably 20% into the build right now. We had to go get a construction loan. We had to go get approval. So all of these things that I watched my clients do for the last 5 years, now we're actually doing some of them. So it's fun to kind of turn the tables on yourself and try different things and learn different things. And I almost feel like I've done everything at this point.
Well,
that's exciting.
I look at Eric and, really practicing what you preach. So you hadn't developed a 24-unit apartment building before.
Hadn't built anything.
Right. Not even a sandcastle.
Yeah.
So, and jumped right in and, all of the little things that I see happening, it's all learning experiences, and he's still here. You know what I mean? He hasn't, you're still here, and it's still going, and you see, you still see work happening. And so it's one of those things where you jump in and you learn as you go. And the next one is even going to be easier and better and bigger because you have all of these lessons to take from it. So don't be, I just want people not to be scared. Whatever you do, don't be scared. Just jump right in and do it.
Right. And we have a great team here. I have a lot of support, but we also offer a lot of support to the people in our education program. Yeah. So they can reach out to all of us and ask questions and get answers and, learn from all of the chaos that we've been through.
That's great. That's good stuff. That's awesome. It's exciting. Well, I'm excited to hear more about this project. I definitely want to see the end result, and make sure to take
Absolutely.
pictures and video
Rooftop
along the way.
lounge. That's all I have to say. Rooftop
Nice.
lounge.
All right. Well, I'll come to the grand opening and have a drink with you
Perfect.
guys.
We got 12 more months.
Nice. All right. Perfect. That's great. Well, what are some of the plans? Any plans for the school? Anything new going on, or
Well,
what's the ultimate goal for the schools?
we've been expanding. We've been expanding state to state. We started here in New Jersey, which we're New Jerseyans. We love New Jersey, but really working up and down the East Coast. And we also a lot of times help students take advantage of being able to use the education you had in one state for another state. So even if you are not on the East Coast and you're thinking about, well, how do I make that East to West Coast connection, or how do I go from Chicago to New York, or these kind of things, we can really help people strategize on that and figure out how to use the education from one state to another.
Got
And we have our big event coming up in October.
The big event.
The big event.
Yes.
So we've been trying to pull off this big event for the last 2 years.
Well, COVID,
Yeah.
COVID was weird for
maybe
it.
even
but
longer. But
yeah.
COVID kind of delayed some of our plans. But we're going to do a big live event out here in New Jersey. We have a full stage setup. People are going to be able to meet our podcast team. They're going to hear different speakers, different experts. We have a big expo on the side, and then we have a big party at night, which it's all real estate, meeting and greeting all of the people in it, and our teachers and our partners and our educators, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
That's exciting.
Yeah,
That's
that's
awesome.
and meeting people face to face. Though I love this medium, I'm so glad that it's opened up to everyone right now. But you can't beat actually meeting someone face to face, shaking their hand, breathing.
There's nothing like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing like it. That's so true. And that'll always be that way. 100 years from now, that will be the same thing. We are human, so it's definitely good stuff. Just as we wrap up here, what would you say your biggest challenge has been in growing your business?
So, wanting to be everything
Oh God,
would be our biggest challenge. So, Noelle and I are a little bit alike because we're like, you hear that expression, oh, there's a squirrel, and everybody like looks up and they watch the squirrel running.
Yeah, squirrel. You got to watch the squirrels. It's so true.
Yeah.
And I have like a sickness. I am very opportunistic. I see ideas, they just like float in front of me, and it's hard to not take advantage of them all. And then I would say our biggest, or I'm talking, I guess, more me, but you're stuck here. But I like to jump and run after some of these challenges. And sometimes it's like, I look back, I'm like, why we have such a good thing going here, and here.
Yeah.
Why are we adding this? We don't need it. Right. But
it's
like
the entrepreneurial curse.
Yes.
It is.
And then you get bored and you're like, I'm bored doing this. And wait, I could teach all these people something new, or I could do this. And it's going to be exciting and fun to bring all that extra stuff in. So you just have to really manage what you're doing. And, as you get older, your energy changes. And, I'm old now. So I don't have the energy I had when I was Noelle's age, in my 20s. So it's you just really have to think through what you're taking on. That's all.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. That's
as long as you are, keeping in mind that all of these big, great ideas take little itty bitty actions. So you have to just sort of say, do I have the capacity for that? And work from it from there.
Especially
That's exactly
for us,
right.
We're perfectionists. We like to deliver 120%. So.
But when we dive into things and we give it that energy, and we talk about immersion a lot and being immersed in what you want and what you're doing. And when we give it that full energy, and I think this is probably the same for most people out there, once you put all of that energy into it, it has to succeed. It will succeed. You have to know it will. And we have found that to be true. The things that we've really put energy into have really turned out to be great, and people are really happy.
Well, and that's the reality. I mean, it takes energy, and if you're at full capacity, if you're bringing something new into the mix, you gotta, it's taken away from something else. So, if it's that much better, and then sometimes it makes sense, but you got to get really clear on that. We
Or you
normally
got to
end with,
bring on the right people.
or that's exactly right, and we normally end with a growth tip, but I think you guys definitely shared one in that, and I would say the growth tip of this episode is watch out for squirrels and stay focused.
There you go. Either
And
you're
my-
going to run them over, or they're going to run you over.
Right?
100%. And my team knows, because we talk about squirrels, with my team, and they know it's the same way, Eric. I mean, when you're an entrepreneur, you see opportunity in everything, it is a gift, but it also can be a curse. And my team knows, they'll say squirrel when I'm talking about some new thing or whatever. And then it's like, all right, let's get back on track and let's let that
Right.
be. So it's super important to stay focused. And, I think that's what's made myself and you guys successful over the years, and knowing where to stay focused. And you guys have done well with it. So
Thank you.
good
Yeah,
stuff.
fun.
Thank you for having us on.
Yeah. Thank you guys for coming on. You guys are awesome. And, how could folks find out about you, you guys, where can they go?
Sure. Well, they can go to recareercenter.com. That's recareercenter.com. Or they could stroll on over to YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and search for The Remix, The Real Estate Mix.
Awesome. Well, great stuff. We'll definitely check out Eric and Noelle. They're up to really great stuff. If you're interested in, the real estate industry or business, you definitely got to check out them and, their school. And, appreciate you guys, being on today. And more importantly, I appreciate your commitment to growth, because this is the Grow Show and it's all about growth. And you guys have definitely made that happen. So nice work, guys. Keep doing what you're doing. And thanks for being on the show.
Thanks, Joe, so much.
Take care, guys. Be well.